We're here at International Floriculture Expo, IFE 2021, and I'm with Glenna Hecht. Glenna, how are you?
I'm terrific. Thank you.
So you just did an excellent presentation that was focused on the power of positive politics, and I wanted to see if you could talk a little bit about some of the takeaways that you wanted to leave the audience, or some of the things that you wanted to make sure that audience heard.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. We're in a different time. And one of the questions that I asked in this session, if people remembered back to 2019, what their values were and how those changed through COVID. And now it feels a little bit like we're shifting sands, that we're still waiting to see what's going to happen next. And so the way that we lead now is very different than the way that we lead then. And the people we interact with are very different, right? Their values, their experiences, their focuses on health and family and whatever might have really come to the surface in 2020 impacts how they behave. So in the session, we talked a lot about the importance of organization politics and understanding where you are and where other people are, and so that you're able to interact more effectively to be able to move your vision and your mission forward.
And what did it mean? Does it mean to you to be able to convey that message in person this year in a way that we obviously weren't last year?
Absolutely. I had the pleasure last year of doing a virtual session, and this year was so rich because I was able to see the looks on people's faces, above mask, and folks could raise their hands and ask questions. And as I walked around the room and I looked at the notes that people were taking, I was able to respond to those. And so, lots of interesting insights that came up about how do I move my mission forward? How do I interact with my supervisors and my team? And then we also talked about strategies and tactics people can use to become more organizationally savvy. And I shared with them some questions, the idea of being emotionally intelligent and what that looks like. And so I think being in person was a really rich interaction with experiences and folks being able to learn and actually take some notes and learn from each other, which they can't as easily in a virtual session.
And I think a lot of what you talked through was relevant to almost anybody working in an organization or somebody with more than five people. But there were elements that were specific to the floral industry itself, which somebody brought up how the floral space in a grocery store, that's continually changing where the rest of the store is kind of the same. But I mean, a lot of that ties back into what it means to uh, operate in an organization, which is part of your speech.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the presentation is applicable to any type of industry, that's for sure. Relative to floral, I'm very fortunate to be able to do a lot of work in the floral industry, and so IFE particularly is the floral department that's in a larger market. And questions came up about, we're changing, how do we impact the larger footprint? And then certainly that is knowing styles, knowing how people need to hear information, knowing what you can do to move your agenda forward not only impacts the floral department, but could certainly impact the overall market. And I think that in this time, people are having a more challenging time hiring folks, ensuring that they're fully staffed and that they have what they need to be able to run their department. So a lot of our conversation was showing up to be the best leader that you can be, and that's so critical in the floral department. So,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's a key part of our conference program, which we're happy to have. Glenna, where can people go to learn more about you?
Thank you for asking. So, glennaheck.com is my website. I do a blog that's called What the Heck, which is my last name, and then certainly they can write me, email me at glennaheck.com, and I look forward to hearing from you and helping you any way that I can. Thank you.